Hi everyone, welcome back to the NumPy series. In this video, we'll explore random number generation using NumPy. As you know, random number generation is a very powerful feature. It has uses in a lot of places. You can use it for simulations, in games, in data science, machine learning. So let's dive right in. Now let's say I want to generate random number between 0 and 1. So in NumPy, you have a module called random, which has all these functions to generate random numbers. And then you can call this function called as rand. Now this gives a random number between 0 and 1, right? And this particular function, the rand function, basically picks up a number or samples a number from a uniform distribution. What does it mean for it to pick up numbers from uniform distribution? It means that the numbers between 0 and 1 are equally likely, or there is equal chance of picking a number between 0 and 1. You can also basically generate multiple values. So here it is giving you one value. Let's say you want to generate 3. You can simply write 3 here and it will give you a NumPy array, a one-dimensional NumPy array with 3 values. What if you want to generate a random number, two-dimensional NumPy array? So then in that case, you can specify the dimensions. So here I need 2 dimensions. That's why I have provided 2 values. And how many values per dimension? So this will give us 2 cross 2 matrix. It's a two-dimensional matrix, a 2 cross 2 matrix. Now, what if we want a bell curve? We want to generate random numbers from a normal distribution. So again, we have a function for that, rand n, and this will give you a number uh, from a normal distribution, standard normal distribution. A standard normal distribution has a mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1. So if you basically sample some random numbers and you calculate their mean, it would be very close to 0 and the standard deviation would be very close to 1 if you use this random function to generate the random numbers. Now, here again, you can generate multiple numbers. So if you want to generate 3 numbers, you can specify that. It is giving you a one-dimensional array. If you want to generate a matrix 2 cross 2, you can just specify that. So this is really helpful for in simulations and for initializing model weights in ML. What if we want random integers? So maybe we are working on a game and we want to generate random numbers for the dice rolls. So for that, we have a function called as, in random module again, we have a function called as rand int. And we can specify the two numbers between which we want to generate the random number. So this will generate a random number between 1 and 6. 7 is not included here, so it will generate a random number between 1 and 6. Okay. What if you want to generate multiple random numbers? So maybe you want to simulate 5 dice rolls. So then you can specify the size here, the param size 5. Again, it can be 2-dimension as well. So it doesn't have to be 1-dimensional like this. Now, let's say you're working on something, maybe some simulation, and you want your results to be reproducible. So you want to generate the same numbers every time you run the code so that you can just do some comparisons and all. So then you have this option of setting the seed. When you set the seed, and then generate the random numbers, those numbers would all be same. So let's try it out. So let's generate 3 random numbers, and this is what I'm getting. So see, it logs the randomness. You get the same number. So this is good for debugging or publishing research. So you see, every time I run it, I get the same number. If I change the seed, of course, I'll get a different set of numbers. Now let's say I have a random, I want random items from a list. So let's say I have this names list and maybe one more person. So np.random.choice. Okay, so this will choose one item from this names list that you have. Again, if I run it again, this time it is selecting Vijay. If you want to choose multiple items, then choice also has the size function. You can specify how many items. So Bob, Bob, Bob and Ajay, Bob and Vijay. Okay. So it basically can choose duplicate items as well. You can even add probabilities. So let's say you want to pick Ajay more than Vijay and Bob. Then you can assign probabilities here. P is equal to 0.1 maybe, or maybe 0.9, or I'll make it 8, 0.1 and 0.1. So now you see Ajay, you will see, comes more often than other names. Why? Because Ajay has higher probability of being selected. Now, let's say you want to shuffle your list. Maybe you want to simulate some game and shuffling is required. Let's say you have a list and you want to shuffle it. So let's just quickly create a list or a NumPy array. Save it down in a variable. And we'll do np.random.shuffle. Right? We'll pass the array and then let's just run this. And now if we go ahead and print our array, let's see what we have. So our array has been shuffled. This shuffle happens in place, which simply means that the original variable here or the original array here gets changed. So this operation, the shuffling operation, gets applied to the original array. So yeah, that's it. You have learned how to generate random numbers today from uniform distribution, from normal distribution. You can generate integers using random function. You can choose using choice here. You can shuffle your list or NumPy array using shuffle function. And you can also set a random seed. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.